Alright, good morning everyone. Today I am making, it's almost afternoon I guess. It doesn't really matter because I'm not doing this one live. This is going to be the tutorial for how to do the mirror blend shapes. I know that we went over this in class, but I thought it might be useful to have a video reference for this as well. So you can see that I've color-coded everything already. Blue is my completed right side, or I guess it's actually the character's left side. And you see I have them grouped over here too. So each of these groups basically has their own color. The blend shape phonemes, those are yellow. We can actually hide them because we don't need to mirror those. And then finally we've got the right shape, which I've already made here, but I'm going to be making these again. So let's just hide these as well. Then I have my textured version here in the middle, which is going to... Well, she has some blue teeth right now. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. So you can see there's no inputs on her right now. If I look at the channel box, there's no inputs or anything. So she is totally unrigged and unblend shaped. Then I have my mirror tools, which is literally just a duplicate of this face, which I just duplicated, moved up, and I deleted history on to make sure there were also no inputs. I applied just a separate white, plain blank slate material to this head, so I can remember this is just my base duplicate. So I'll be making all of my new blend shapes from this one, just duplicating. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply, before I get to that, I have my head reverse here in red. And that's set at -15, 20 in world space. And you'll notice that the scale is at -1. And I went through it before. I can't just duplicate these, make them negative freeze transformations, because that changes the vertex order, and that's going to make the blend shapes not work. So I need, the problem that we're trying to solve right now is how to mirror all of these to the other side of the face without having to re-sculpt every one of the facial expressions. So another way, I think I was showing you how to do it. You can do it one by one, duplicate these, apply these to our live one. I'm calling it live because it's basically, this is going to actually have blend shapes on it. But instead, I'm going to actually duplicate the group real quick. Hit Control D. I'm going to set the scale to -1 on X, and I'm going to move this up out of the way. And then I'm going to select all of them as objects, and I'm applying this orange material that I made called Delete After Use. That's just so I remember anything that's orange. Once this is over, these are all just basically temporary items. They're not going to be, I'm using these to drive the blend shape on the target reverse here, and then once that's done, I can delete them. So let's go ahead and drag over all those, and then finally we shift select our live, and we're going to do animation deform blend shape, and let's call this one mirror, because we're going to get rid of this one later. This is just temporary, remember. Everything red and orange is basically temporary. Until we have our blend shapes made. So you can see, let's take a look, make sure that all these are applied properly. Yep, so we scaled them so they're all on the right side of the face, our left side. Okay, it's someone's birthday tomorrow. Let's see. Just going through just to make absolutely sure that every one of these applied properly. So looking pretty good so far. And the blink. Alright, cool. So I'm going to move this out of the way, but you know that it's there. So now that she has all of these applied to her, I can just start duplicating my base and doing a wrap deform. So basically the process is going to be duplicate, move over, make sure that it's exactly -15. I'm going to then, so this is my base, I'm going to shift select the live, or actually control select to make sure that I don't select the one in between. And then I'm going to do, let's see, animation. I want to do, I think it's actually under rigging. Yeah, rigging, deform, wrap. And now we're just going to select one of these at a time and just move it all the way up to 1. So let's then, now that this is done, I can do edit, delete by type, history, and move it down to, sorry, actually I want to keep it at -15, and let's just make translate y 0. So we'll leave these white for now. Let's see. This is going to be inner eyebrow up. So let's see what this one's called and just duplicate the name. And we'll just change the L to an R. And I'm going to actually make another group now that's called Blendshapes R2 because I already have an R. I'm basically remaking that. I'm just middle mouse dragging it here. Okay. So let's actually add the green material to that. I'm just going to move this over so you can see what I'm doing. And that one is now done. So we just want to keep repeating that process. Just remember then to go back down. Oh, and last thing to remember, each time you do that wrap deform, it actually creates this duplicate that's hidden. So just delete that when you're done. So do one more. Go to -15. This time I'm going to, and I can actually copy the name of it here. That might be easier. Move that up to 1. Oh, wait, I gotta do the wrap deformer. So that's the only thing. Yeah, I just gotta keep remembering to do the full process. Deform, wrap. I need to shift select it, sorry. Deform, wrap. This time we'll move this one up. Make sure that it's just this one selected. Delete by type, history. Rename it. Change it to R. Move it down to 0, and then this one is going to be at -30. And just to double check, let's look and make sure it's the mirror of the one that is opposite of it. Because just for my own sake, I want to make sure that these are basically radiating out in the same order. Okay, and then finally, we'll just add our green Lambert to that. And delete this. Move this up to R2. And R2 is starting to fill out. So again, duplicate, -15. Make sure that my blend shapes are all turned off. I'm going to copy the third one. And we'll take this, shift, control select that, deform, wrap. Move this one all the way up. There's the outer brow, you'll see. All the way up to 1. Select this, edit, delete by type, history. Move it back down to 0. This one's going to be -45. And let's name it. Change this to R. And maybe outer brow up. Outer brow up. Alright, looking good. Just apply my green to that. And lastly, we'll delete that and move this up here. So you can see this really isn't that bad of a process. It's a little bit, it's a couple steps, but once you kind of get everything set up the way that I have it, you can go through this pretty quickly. Blend shape back down. Alright. And we'll just control select, deform, wrap. This time we're going with the fourth one. Just double clicking to copy that. And let's name it that. Change this to R. Edit, delete by type, history. And let's move it back down to 0. And this time I think -60. And I'm applying off screen, I'm applying the green Lambert to that. Let's make sure this is the outer eye down. It's the fourth one over. Let's check over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Outer eye over, or on down. Okay. So that's pretty much it. I won't go through the rest of it, but you get the idea. Just make sure you do those steps. You can color code it if you want. I think for me, it's a little bit easier. Everything's color coded. Again, once you have finished this process, you can just delete this entire group. Do it by selecting the group, not the objects, because then you'll just have an empty group left. So select the whole group and delete it. And actually, you could do that now, because the blend shapes are all baked into this head now, so you don't really need them anymore. But yeah, you can see, and then once we have created all these, if you want, you can just hide the mirror tools. That's probably what I would do, so then they're ready to go in case you have to make changes to your blend shapes down the line. But yeah, that's about it. So good luck with everybody, and I will talk to you later.